loves, it's Monica and welcome back to a new cozy vlog. I am home in Pennsylvania for the week and I thought this would be a nice time to just vlog some of the cozy outdoor things that I'm doing because I'm going to try and spend at least a decent amount of time outdoors. It is going to be pretty hot this week, so we'll see how much I actually do that, but it's been really nice. I've been doing a little picnic this morning and doing some reading. I ended up getting a few books. The New York Review Books has a big summer sale every year, and I always miss it. But this year I finally got a few things, and I've been collecting their books slowly over the past few years because honestly, every time I read one, I just end up discovering like a new favorite author or story or whatever. So the sale was that if you bought 4 or more books, you got 40% off. So of course I bought 5. The first one is Angel by Elizabeth Taylor, not to be confused with the actress. And I just started this last night when I got here, and I am loving this. It is so compulsively readable. Basically, it's about this girl, Angel, who wants to be a novelist, but more than that, she just wants to be rich. It's set in the early 1900s, and she comes from a fairly poor family, and she just has these dreams of being wealthy and to live this sort of like glamorous life. And this is about her trying to do that through writing novels. And I'm not very far into it, but I do think it's going to be kind of a criticism based on the introduction of like popular fiction and the like sort of capitalistic nature of publishing. I just really love reading from the perspective of her character. Like, she's one of those like deliciously, I don't want to say evil because I don't think she's evil, but like kind of just uncaring characters about like other people, like very self-centered, selfish kind of vibe. But like there's something really fun, I think, sometimes about like reading from those types of perspectives, especially for women. So I'm really enjoying this one, and it's just like so compulsively readable. It's like I'm having a really fun time reading this. The other 4 books that I got Stephen Zweig's The Post Office Girl, which I have been wanting to read for a while. I've been wanting to read this author for a while because I know that he's really beloved. And this one says it's Cinderella meets Bonnie and Clyde, which I'm so excited for. I don't think it's going to be as like action-y as maybe that might make you think it's going to be, but I think it's supposed to be like a criticism of like capitalism and all of that, which I love. So very excited for that. I got Magda Szabo's The Door. I read Abigail earlier this year, absolutely loved it, and I just wanted to collect as many of Magda Szabo's works as I can get in English, and this will be my 3rd book by her that I own. I also own The Fawn. The Door, I think, is like one of her most beloved books. Like, this is maybe her most popular, and it's about the relationship between 2 women, Magda, who is this like well-to-do author, and then Emerence, who is her maid. And I just really love the way that Magda Szabo writes women, and especially their relationships to each other. At least when I read Abigail, that was one of the things that I loved, so I'm excited to just read more by her. Then I picked up the book of Ebenezer LePage, which is like basically this elderly man telling his life story. He lives on the island of Guernsey in England, and I hope I pronounced that right. Probably didn't. But he lives there, and he's lived there his whole life. Based on the description, this is definitely not one that I think I would normally pick up, and I haven't really seen a lot of reviews about it, but the people who I have seen talk about it have referred to it as like one of their all-time favorite books, and that it's just this really beautiful story, and especially the ending like really touched them. So very curious. And then lastly, I got The Summer Book by Tove Jansson, who I've been wanting to just read more of her fiction outside of like the Moomin universe. I love Moomin, and I just really love her as a person. I think she's just such a remarkable artist, and I've been really keen to read this one for a while now, so figured I'd pick it up, maybe read it this summer. So yeah, my plan is to continue reading Angel throughout this vlog, and I am like 30 pages into it. I already mentioned I'm really loving it. And then I of course also brought my Switch because I got Fantasy Life on my Switch. I recently did my first ever Let's Play for this game, and I had so much fun doing that, and I just like, I really want to be able to play it like not just when I'm home, but also when I'm out and about. So I'm very happy that they do cross saving, so I can play it on my Steam at home, and then I can also play it on my Switch when I'm traveling, which is beautiful. I wish all games were like that. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be playing more Fantasy Life while I'm here this week, and those are my big plans. I'm just happy to like be in nature for a little while and also to like hang out with my family. So we'll have lots of fun things to do. Monopoly. I lost, but I came in second and I won free parking twice. So my family has like a very specific way that we play Monopoly. We have our house rules. So like, for example, like you can do a hotel on every single property. Anytime you have to pay in for like a community chest or chance card or any of the like luxury tax things, like unless you're paying another player, all of that money always goes in the middle, and that's like free parking. So I never land on free parking, so I was really proud of myself. So played Monopoly. We lost power for a little bit because it's been like a little bit rainy, thunderstormy here. And then I also, of course, read more of Angel. I'm a little bit less than halfway through it, and I have just not really been able to put it down. I'm loving it. It's so compulsively readable. I think I'm gonna make like a TikTok or a Instagram reel or something about like just really accessible classics, and this is definitely a book that I will be recommending because it's just really fun. It is getting like kind of like dark now, like I'm just feeling like really sad for some of the people around Angel, but I've just learned that there is a film adaptation and I'm so keen to watch that once I'm done reading this, because literally as I've been reading it I'm like, wow, I wish we had film adaptations of this book, because like I just feel like it would be so dramatic and fun to read. But it's also just, I feel like it's really rare to have a main character, especially a woman as a main character, who is so like just selfish and unlikable and mean and like weird and off-putting, and she has all of those things, and it's really just like very delicious almost to like get to read from her perspective. So I'm really enjoying it so far, and I'm intrigued to see what her like journey ends up being. So I'm hoping to finish this, if not tonight, definitely like tomorrow, but having a lot of fun with it. And then I think I'm gonna go, my mom is making kuksu, which are like these spicy noodles that I love. So I think I'm gonna have some kuksu and then play on my Nintendo Switch for a bit. And then tonight I'll definitely be reading more of this. I'm very excited too. Definitely want more people to talk about this book with, so if any of you have read it, please let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm so excited because my mom, my sister, and I are doing my absolute favorite activity today, which is, of course, thrifting. And I love going thrifting in Pennsylvania because it's so much cheaper than New York and like actually good. I feel like it's really hard to find just like cool stuff in New York unless it's like $200 or whatever. So really excited for that. I did not read any more of Angel yesterday, but I did watch the entirety of season 1 of The Buccaneers, which is so fun and ridiculous and like, oh, just such a good time. It reminds me of like, I don't know if any of you watched Rain back in the day, but it's just like, it's a historical drama, but like very much not trying to be historically accurate at all. It's like a total fantasy, but it's really fun, and I'm loving just like all the girls and their stories and getting to know them. So I'm really intrigued to see what is going to happen in season 2. And I love the soundtrack. The soundtrack is so good. It's full of like so many of my favorite artists, which, by the way, I have been making like every single Friday. One of my favorite activities is to go through and like find all of the new releases that I most enjoy, and I have a playlist that I update every single week with all of my like new music picks, and I've been loving doing that. I've been sharing it a lot on my Instagram, but figured I'd share it here too if any of you are interested. I love music so much. And then I also played a little bit of Fantasy Life. So the way that Fantasy Life works is that you can have like different careers or lives. So you could be a tailor, a carpenter, an alchemist, a magician, etc., etc. And there's so many different lives that you can like learn and rank up in, and I had only done the Taylor life, but I've started branching out into other lives, and I am really excited about that. It's just so much fun. It's just such like a big game. Like there's so much I feel like to explore and do, and I'm really enjoying that. I'll definitely bring you along today and show you any cool finds that I find.
If only I could finish something, run straight through to the end, close a chapter dignified. Damn girl, you did it again. But will it ever be enough when I'm bent on trying to keep it tough? Will I ever settle down?
I hate to share that I have just found my absolute dream chair, and I think I have to get it. My sister says it'll fit in her car and then we can bring it back to New York with me. I'm so in love with it. It's incredible. It's like the ultimate granny core chair. I love her. I'm just like envisioning me in my shabby chic library reading on this chair. I'm so excited.
I could build a tower, pierce right through the clouds, saxophones at every hour. Who hasn't heard of me now? Then will I have had enough of trying to keep myself?
So it's a couple days later. I'm back home in New York City, and I loved being home. I'm actually going back in like a couple of weeks, basically. I did not bring my chair, the chair that I bought, back with me. My sister is going to be bringing it up at the end of this month when she comes to visit, and I'm so excited. I'll definitely have to do a little bit of like small library makeover video because I'm just so excited to like put that in my space. I'll probably want to get a new rug or something too in that area, so I'm just very excited. I also finished up reading Angel, which I loved. This is definitely one of my new favorite novels, and I've been building a little collection of books that I want to like make a video, probably like a reel or short or something, just talking about books that I would recommend for people who love Jane Austen but aren't sure what to read next. Because whenever I look up like, oh, what should I read if I love Jane Austen, I feel like the list is almost always made up of like modern written Regency romance, and you know, that's great, but I think for me, when I am looking for novels for someone who like loves Jane Austen, is like stories about women that are interesting and complex and are also just like really interesting critiques of culture that also have that sort of comedy of manners element, and that I feel like is kind of harder to find as far as like lists are concerned. So I'm working on that right now, and have a few ideas coming up. So if you're not following me over on like Instagram or TikTok, you should. I'll probably eventually post it to YouTube Shorts too. But anyways, this is a book that I would recommend. I feel like I'd recommend this especially to people who like loved Mansfield Park. Not Mansfield Park, oh my gosh. No, it's about to make nobody read this book. Northanger Abbey. Northanger Abbey, which is one of my all-time favorite books by Jane Austen, but I feel like is one of the most underhyped of all of her works. But it's just so fun, and I love, it's like the kind of book that's like so perfect for readers because so much of it plays on like kind of poking fun at the literary world and just like the whole rise of the novel. And I feel like this does a very, very similar thing where it's, again, kind of meta in that it's, you know, making fun of popular media. Our main character, Angel, is a writer. And early on, I thought, based on the introduction, that her writing was like her basically writing just whatever's going to appeal to the masses in order to make money and like not really caring about what she writes. But now, having read the book, so much of her writing is like escapism because of that, because her stories are so fantastical and ridiculous, people like gobble them up and they sell really well. And you can, definitely see that even in our modern day with some of the books that are super popular, everything from like Twilight, 50 Shades of Grey. And this isn't a knock to any of those, or like some of the more recent modern ones, like really popular books like Fourth Wing, that people will be like, oh yeah, this book is super popular, but also it's like horrifically written. I feel like it was fun reading about a story from someone who like wrote those kinds of books. I don't want to I don't think the authors who of those books have anything in common with Angel. It's just like the sort of cultural discourse around them. Even as I was reading this, I was watching The Buccaneers, which I honestly think is like as close as you're going to get to being able to like read or ingest whatever Angel was cooking in this story, because Buccaneers is like, it's a historical fiction show, but like it is just absolutely ludicrous. Like nothing about it is accurate. The plot lines are so just bonkers, makes no sense whatsoever, and it was just kind of meta to watch it at the same time as reading this, because I felt like I was watching one of Angel's stories come to life. So that's the kind of stuff that she's writing, is the gist that I got. At the same time of like all of that ridiculousness, it is like kind of gothic in just how dour Angel is as a character. Literally on the back, one of the blurbs refers to it as a quiet horror of domestic life, and that I think is a very apt description of Elizabeth Taylor's writing in this book. So I really loved it. I had such a lovely time reading it at home too. I'm gonna go ahead and end up this vlog here, but I had a lot of fun sharing these few days with you all, and I'm excited for some of the upcoming vlogs that I have in the works right now to share with you guys. I have a little bit of a fall preview and a little romance birthday vlogs, my birthday in a few days. And then I think I'm gonna do another Let's Play for Tales of the Shire if I can figure out all the logistics with my Switch and everything. But my last Let's Play, unfortunately, womp womp, did not do very well, but it's fine. I will persevere. I'm gonna try and do it once more, see if people are interested in it. If not, then that's fine. I'll survive. But yeah, those are my plans, and I'm excited, and I am excited to share it all with you. So anyways, I will talk to y'all next time. Bye.